Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. George W. Bush spent the first 9 years of his retirement saying almost nothing in public, and good for him. It's a dignified and restrained posture that is long-standing tradition among former chief executives. But nobody's staying silent in 2018, so President Bush is now speaking out, and he has a cause, seeking amnesty for millions of illegal immigrants that his administration allowed into this country. The context for his latest remarks was a speech that Bush was giving in the United Arab Emirates. That's an authoritarian Islamic petrostate. Alongside him as he spoke was Michael Milken, the convicted felon and financier. During his remarks, the former president said he wants immediate amnesty for DACA recipients. Quote, "America's their home," he said. Congress has got to get it fixed. Bush explained that we must give citizenship to illegal immigrants as a reward for providing low-wage labor to companies who don't feel like paying American wages. Quote, "There are people willing to do jobs that Americans won't do," the former president said. "We ought to say thank you and welcome them." Well, this is the magical world of our elites, people who've never had to worry about how illegal immigrants might affect their kids' schools, or the crime rate in their gated neighborhoods, or the social cohesion of their communities, because they're insulated from all of that. Instead, they repeat "diversity is our strength" 3 times like a spell and assume the best will happen. The rest of us, as the former president noted, can shut up and say thank you. So how exactly is this faith-based immigration policy working out so far? Well, let's see. We watched dreamers blockade Disneyland. We watched them harass lawmakers outside their homes to demand an amnesty that they have no legal right to. That's ominous enough. But there are other signs. Here's one. Linda Sarsour. She's a professional activist. She's the child of Palestinian immigrants. You would think that she'd be grateful for the opportunities this country has given her family, especially considering where they came from. But no. Linda Sarsour is not grateful. She hates our country and the people who founded it. During a demonstration yesterday in Washington, Sarsour denounced America and then went on to attack Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer for the color of his skin. Watch this.
I'm talking to Chuck Schumer, who's also from Brooklyn. I'm tired of white men negotiating on the backs of people of color and communities like ours. But I also remember that I live in a country that was founded on the extermination of indigenous people. You have a fascist in the highest office of this land who is running ICE, which has always been a rogue agency. But now they're acting like the Gestapo, going and picking up people in the middle of the night.
Notice the cheers from the crowd. A lot of people agree with Linda Sarsour, and that should make you nervous. We've invited millions and millions of people into this country in recent years. There are now more immigrants in America right now than at any time in the history of the country. Is America more united than ever before? Is it stronger? Please. It's just the opposite, and everyone knows it. Maybe that's because our elites welcome immigrants by telling them how horrible America is and how bigoted its native population. Our immigrants believe that. Why wouldn't they? It's not their fault. It's ours. We're creating a lot of Linda Sarsours. This is a recipe for civil war. Diverse countries need a reason to stick together. They don't do it organically. Our elites ought to be staying up late, night after night, every night, trying to figure out what that reason is. Why should we hang together? A shared language, a shared culture, a shared set of core beliefs? Pick one. Our ruling class rejects all of those. Just shut up and say thank you. That's their answer. It won't end well.
For him. That's what we're finding out right now. Look at all of the money Jeb Bush had. And by the way, both parties with that 12% rate on hedge fund managers. Hillary Clinton was on the finance committee. I'm sorry, that is unfair. And it takes Donald Trump saying no hedge fund manager should pay the same as Ann Coulter does. It takes him saying that because the donors have been stepping in saying, no, 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 we like paying less than everyone else.
But wait a minute. I remember you already sold.
Okay,
do you think he can
you're
win?
You're paying a higher tax rate than hedge fund managers.
Because I remember seeing you at CPAC in 2013 saying that we shouldn't have a businessman, that we should have either a senator or a governor, and you said, in fact, it's got to be from a big state, not something the size of Rhode Island. So at that point, you were against the businessman. What changed your tune?
Well, Donald Trump. He's the one exception to this rule. I also said we shouldn't be running divorcees. Altering that for Trump, but don't expect me to hold it to it going forward.
You also said you had a height requirement. You don't have a hair requirement?
I have a height requirement. I love this hair.
too short. That you had to go like, line them up against the little clown in front of the roller coaster.
Unless it's not, they'd be divorced. They can't be divorced.
Well, actually,
Ronald Reagan was divorced.
The reason I'm generally against the non-governors running is I call them the novelty candidates, the businessmen. I mean, whether it was Herman Cain, Michelle Bachmann, Newt Gingrich, even you see it a little bit now with Ben Carson. They're not prepared for the rough and tumble of politics. They say things and sort of box themselves in, and also then they get bored and just say, I'm going home. Trump has been through all this before. He's been so attacked. I mean, if you were in New York area in the 80s, Spy magazine was going after Trump constantly. There's nothing, no new scandals are coming out that are going to come out against him. And the other thing is that I love about Trump, and make an exception for him on a lot of rules, I guess, well, at least two. Reagan, Romney, Trump. The only people who have run for president whose lives will be made immeasurably worse, both by running and by winning.
All right, Anna, enough about Trump. Now let's talk about you. Yeah. Adios, America. Of course, I say hola, America, but all right. So you wrote your book, Adios, America, The Left's Plan to Turn Our Country into a Third World Hellhole.
Yeah.
And your stance on immigration is part of why you like Trump. You've said that you are a one-issue voter now. Tell us, what does this provocative title mean? Explain it to us.
Well, I say it, adios, America.
I say adios, America.
Right. What it means is that the nation that has been so welcoming to immigrants, to women, to children, is an amazingly successful nation, and the Democrats do it for the votes. The rich do it for the cheap labor and the cheap maids. They strut around like they're Martin Luther King. No, who is our immigration policy hurting? And this is the post-1965 immigration. We're bringing in millions and millions of people from very poor cultures, from very backwards cultures. No, our social programs are for the American poor. They are